Okay, let's unpack this. Today we're doing a deep dive into the new Redmi Pad 2. Our mission basically is to cut through the specs quickly, find those key nuggets, help you understand what really makes this thing tick for, well, for your digital life.
Exactly. It's about translating all that tech talk, isn't it? What do these specs actually mean for you day to day, especially if you care about, say, sharp visuals, good sound, and a battery that just keeps going? We're really focusing on that user experience.
Absolutely. So let's start with the bit you look at most, the display. It's an 11-inch screen, which is a decent size, but it's at 2.5K resolution, weighs at 2560 by 1600. And that's paired with a 90 hertz refresh rate. That combo sounds interesting. What does it actually feel like?
Well, what's fascinating is you get this really sharp detail from the high resolution, really crisp, and then the 90 hertz makes everything feel super fluid. Scrolling, animations, it's just smoother. Think less jerky, more buttery browsing, video, maybe some light gaming. And it gets pretty bright, too, up to 600 nits, apparently, so usable outdoors. But crucially, it's got blue light protection built in. That's not just fluff, It genuinely helps with eye strain if you're using it for hours.
Right. That blue light filtering is a smart touch for longer sessions.
Okay.
Definitely. Okay, so a nice screen needs a decent engine. What about the processor? It's running a MediaTek Helio G100 Ultra, 6nm tech. Is that going to be enough power for this kind of display in general use?
Yeah, the Helio G100 Ultra, it delivers pretty solid performance, actually. That 6cm part mostly means it's quite power efficient. Good for battery life. Look, it's not like a top-tier gaming chip, Don't expect that. But for everyday digital life, browsing, streaming, video calls, even some lighter games, it handles that stuff really well. No major lags. So what that means for you is a smooth experience for most things without paying extra for horsepower you probably won't even use.
Makes sense. Keep it practical. And with that screen and processor, you need space for your stuff, right? It comes with options 4, 6, or 8 gigs of RAM and 128 or 256 gigs of storage. Pretty standard. But this is the kicker. Micro SD expansion up to 2 terabytes.
Yeah.
It just seems massive.
Well, it absolutely is. 2 terabytes in a tablet. That's a game changer. Practically speaking, you could carry your entire media library, movies, photos, documents, tons of games, without even thinking about space. You could ditch external drives for trips, basically. And it runs Android 15 with Xiaomi's HyperOS, so it's all managed by a modern system.
Okay, but hold on. All these great features, they need juice, right? The battery is listed as 9,000 mAh. That sounds pretty big. How does that actually play out in the real world for someone who's maybe out and about a lot?
Yeah, 9,000 mAh is definitely a powerhouse for a tablet. The specs claim, 234 hours of music and over 80 days on standby, which is, kind of hard to even picture. You just don't worry about the charger much. It does support 18W fast charging, which is handy, USB-C, of course. But the main thing is just longevity. It's built to last between charges. Great for long commutes, flights, or just busy days without easy access to power.
That's incredible, actually. 80 days standby. Wow. All right, let's round it out. Audio, often a weak point on tablets. This one has quad stereo speakers, Dolby Atmos support, and high-res audio certification. Does that combo, make a real difference, or is it just marketing?
No, it makes a huge difference. Seriously. Quad speakers mean you get proper stereo separation and it gets loud. But the Dolby Atmos part, that creates this kind of virtual surround sound, a 3D effect, so you feel more immersed, Whether it's movies, music, or even just calls, combine that immersive sound with that really nice 2.5K screen. And yeah, it properly elevates the whole thing into a really good entertainment device.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. What does this all mean for you, the listener? We've got this Redmi Pad 2. Seems like a really solid package. Impressive screen, that 2.5K 90 hertz one. Amazing battery life, apparently. Good sound with the quad speakers and Dolby Atmos. And that crazy 2 terabyte storage option.
Right. And this raises, I think, an important question. What could you actually do differently or experience if your main tablet rarely needed a charge? If it actively helped protect your eyes during use, and if it gave you that really immersive sound and picture, think about what that unlocks.
Yeah, it definitely makes you think, doesn't it? How could a device like that change how you learn, or how you watch stuff, or even how you get work done when you're not at a desk? Food for thought.